Welcome to our special podcast series for the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence, running from November 25th to December 10th, with your host, Sharmin Prince. And together, we'll shine a light on some of the urgent issues of gender-based violence. In this series, we'll delve into personal stories, legal insights, and share vital resources that empower individuals and communities to take action. Our goal is to raise awareness, ignite conversations, and advocate for change in our societies. Join us as we embark on this critical journey to stand against violence, uplift survivors, and promote a world free from fear and abuse. Let's get started.
Welcome to the ENYTing Gender podcast. I'm your host, Sharmin Prince. And so I want to welcome you, and I hope that you have started the year in good health and strength. Happy International Women's Month to all the women out there. And today I have a guest, Lisbeth A. Salifu, and she is from Ghana. Lisbeth is a results-driven professional with over 10 years of experience in program development, project coordination, and office management. She's skilled in strategic planning, team management, and stakeholder engagement. She's dedicated to unlocking potential and promoting social impact with a strong passion for empowering individuals with disabilities. Today, I want you to join me in welcoming Lisbeth. Welcome to the ENYTing Gender podcast.
Hi, good afternoon from Ghana. And thank you, Sharmin, for that very laudable introduction. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here at your podcast.
Thank you. So, Lisbeth, what is your role working with women?
I'm the owner of, and then at the same time, co-founder for Access Afgana. Access Afgana, we are registered under Social Enterprise Ghana as an enterprise that also work with persons with disability, like women. So we are a limited by guarantee under the Office of Registrar of Companies in Ghana here, and we just registered last year. We are 1 year down the line, but then, however, we have a lot of work going on because of the objective of the organization. We are working with persons with disability, especially women. And you, Sharmin, will agree with me that this is a vulnerable group globally. When you are a woman and a person with disability, you are looked at twice wherever you enter. It doesn't matter your dressing code, it doesn't matter your intelligence or your smartness. So far as you enter a building and there's a crowd, they look at you once and then they have to look at you again. You are watched twice because they're like, seriously, are we sure this woman can do it? I mean, we all know that women already are in this position where they are trying to collaborate. We can't say they will rub shoulder with their men counterparts, but we are trying to collaborate. And women with disability, it's extreme. And this is where my role comes in. As a leader, I play a lot of role. I am kind of a mentor for a lot of them. They look up to me because as a co-founder, Access Hub organization, and a person with disability and a woman is not easy. where I started and where I am right now, the challenges that I face, and I try to break through, and where I am right now. So I would say it's not easy. So I don't know if I answer your question.
Yeah, you raise a few more questions. Did I hear you correct that you're also a woman with disability?
Yes, I am a woman with disability.
Oh, how difficult it is to navigate resources for persons with disability?
Mhm. Thank you so much once again. That's a very interesting question, Sharmin. Very interesting question. It is not easy, especially from this continent where we find ourselves in. I don't know of your end there, but when it comes to Africa, it's not easy. In the first place, there's this bias about person with disability, whether they are able to handle leadership roles. So then you say you are coming to spearhead an organization, you are going to be on the forefront because of this bias that is already there. Then you begin to doubt yourself because this is something that is already there. So you have to break through this bias and say that I have the ability. But the society thinks that you don't have that ability. You can. My opening remarks, I mentioned that wherever you are a woman with disability, you enter, it doesn't matter your dressing code or whatever. They will look at you and then look at you again. Is it what I saw? They look at you physically. They said, okay, if we bring this person here, so then that bias from culture, and we also have a lack of representation because of this bias. There is lack of representation. So we are not able to dominate as a woman with disability, dominate the corporate network. And we know that networking is something that is very important for us to be able to leverage on the other individuals or organizations or get opportunities. So it's not easy at all. It's not easy. And this kind of post a hindrance as a woman with a disability.
It's difficult for women in certain spaces, and for women with disability, you made the statement that when a woman with disability walks into a room, she is looked at twice. But I am thinking that's a woman with physical disability, because there are women with invisible disability. A woman could have a hearing impairment and no one would know when she walks in. A woman can have a mental disability and walk into a room and no one would be able to identify that she's a woman with disability. However, I have a few questions that are churning in my mind, especially for the women with physical disability. What are some of the ways that you help those women to boost their confidence, that when they walk into a room, they command the room, they make their presence known with confidence that whatever they're there to do, they can do it the same as a woman without disability?
All right. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. And before I come there, I would want to hit on the remarks regarding if you are hearing impaired or hard of hearing woman, you might enter a building that unnoticed. and the same with the mentally disadvantaged. That is very true in a sense. But the point with disability is that the earlier you get notified, the better. And so if you take the hearing impaired person, the person might walk elegantly and go and sit down. Somebody will say hello, and then she will not respond. They say, "Oh, she's rude." And why did I greet her? She did not respond, and forgetting that maybe there might be something wrong. And then you're back to your question now when you say that, what do we do? You have to own it. And Access Afgana, what we do is we try to give these women this capacity building programs that will build their confidence. Some of them are not aware of their capabilities, of their potential, because society already has brought them into some corner, and some have accepted that situation and said, okay, well, even if I go out, nobody will appreciate me do. But then with our programs, we look at skills development. We also look at capacity building, and we also do job placement. Capacity building tie in with awareness raising. Then we look at job placement for them also. So then we okay, skills. As in entrepreneurship that you already have, you don't know how to sell your product and all those things. We say we will aid you about marketing. We will aid you about putting your proposal. We will aid you about how you can find funding. What available funding are there? What bookkeeping programs are there for you that you keep your finances? Every bank will want to see a very good business bookkeeping, how they finance before they give them money. So then we say, okay, maybe you have the business, you might be doing well, and if the business is also packaged nicely, it will bring other customers. It might be even exported somehow where it become a good product out there globally. So these are the small things that we do when it comes to entrepreneurial sector. And then we also look at the part where we train the young ones who are raw from school. They don't have any skills, just from SHS, maybe they need to pursue. We look at other digital skills training like graphic designing, web coding, mobile apps, and all those things. And we say, okay, so we will try to network with organizations that have the same objective with us, that are ready to partner and sponsor a few of our members to enroll them for this particular program. Then we say, okay, then we look into our membership and we see those that might be qualified and interested. Then we enroll them. And then we also have the what's it called, the job enrollment program where we do job placement. And we're looking at those that have the certificate that is not productive. Even though some might have work experience and some might not have work experience, we are saying you should try them. We want you to employ them in your company and try them. But then that also will depend if it meets the needs of the disability. I mean, if you are a visually impaired person, to go and work, you can work in a factory where you need to use your arm and you can see. We wouldn't want to create another disability. So we table in the programs that fit the individual. So then we say, okay, they themselves say they want this type of job and they state it. Then we take their request. We go out to the companies, whether non-governmental or government organization, and we lobby on these people's behalf. And we say, give us a quota. Let's see if they can perform. Well, if they don't perform with other staff, whether they are able, we have other able staff who don't perform. How do you deal with them? So the same way you deal with the disabled one who also perform. You improve their skills. You give them the necessary capacity that they need to keep them up. And then when we get it, then we come back and then we send them out for interview. Then lastly, we are looking at research. The research is much complicated, but then it's something that we are considering as our fourth phase of programs. So Access Hub, this is basically what we do. We want them to own it. they stare at you, and you let them know that you have entered there. So they should get ready for you, you know. So that is what we are trying to train our members to be. For all we know, they might even perform better when we bring them to the job sector than the able partners, because they get to
definitely, because you struck a chord with me with that comment that they might outperform their peers, and that is so because they have something to prove, and therefore they will give it 110% because they have something to prove. I want to ask you this burning question. What are some of the stereotypes a woman with disability must overcome in order to succeed?
Yes, a lot of stereotype from African continent here. We all know that we are not perfect. And there's no room for mistakes. But then when you are a person with disability, you make that mistake, it becomes a stereotype. Oh, we know that you might not do it because we just trying, because already it's inculcated in society that they might not. This group of people are less disadvantaged, they can't be able to do anything, not for themselves and not for their family. And if you look at it from that point of view, it might be very difficult to understand how, but this is the tradition that we are born in. This is the tradition that when person with disabilities, their family excommunicate them, take them out of the world because they think that they are not human beings in the first place. I'm giving you an example of one of a woman who was born without a limb. And then we also have the kitchen type of what is it called, stereotype, that you are expected to be in the house as a woman. Kitchen is your end. You can't go beyond the kitchen. So, and now you are disabled again, person with disability at the kitchen. They will even say, so as a woman, you are not supposed to work, you are not supposed to earn money, you should sit down home, your husband will bring the food. Even if you don't have an earring, money to buy an earring, you have to go to your husband and say, husband, my earring one is lost. If you don't have money, hey. So this also applies to women with disability. And ours is double when you look at it from that perspective. And the stereotype of also being ice cream, as I said, you are perceived to be very cold, unemotional, you shouldn't feel anything. You should be unemotional, you should not express yourself. The man should say it, they are not disrespecting men. But we do know that the Bible says that Abraham, I tell you to listen to your wife Sarah. God told Abraham that she should listen to what the wife is saying. So we are not saying that men should not be authoritative, but then we are saying that there are some points that women, reasonableness that women bring into the family that will so build up and bring up healthy and lovely family. It shouldn't be only the man who should dictate, because the Bible also mentions also that if you don't listen to your wife, you are disobeying me, God. So, I mean, but this is the African culture where we are in, and what the man says is final. So this is also another stereotype that applies to person with disability. So we are not disobeying them. We are not saying they are not family head. They are still family head. We respect their position, but we are saying that they must collaborate effectively with their wives, whether they are person with disability or not person with disability, to bring up a healthy family that generates to a healthy community and brings about good development in every nation.
What are some of the ways you help women with disability to overcome those stereotypes? I mean, it's common all over the world. In some cultures, the expectation of men is that women are homemakers, housewives. And I think, the world is gradually moving away from that because women are demanding equality or equity. How do you help women to overcome that stereotype?
It's a lot to discuss regarding this particular stereotype. Yes. So I have a strong hope that in some few years to come, we will not sit here and discuss the same issue that we are discussing today. We will rather be talking the opposite of it.
And thank you so much, Lisbeth. But thank you for the work that you're doing with women with disability. I heard that you are building their capacity. You are training them to be more emotionally intelligent so that they can be contributors to the spaces that they occupy. You're also boosting their self-esteem and their self-image. And I think that that's a model that you need to patent in order to share with other organizations that serve women with disability or persons with disability.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence podcast series. We hope today's discussions inspired you to take action and support those affected by gender-based violence. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe, share it with others, and leave us a review. Your voice is crucial in spreading awareness and advocating for change. Stay connected with us on social media at Eagles Empower to Soar, EETS, and visit our website at www.eaglesoar.org. For more resources and information, let's continue this important conversation and work together to create a safer world for all. Until next time, take care and stand strong against violence.